Okay, and we've got Gary here. He stopped in to meet me at the post office so that we could just show me some of the new stuff he's got. So why don't you introduce us to what we've got here on the right here, Gary?
Okay, so what I've got here is, this is my traditional solfeggio wind chime, which contains 6 of the 9 solfeggio tones.
And that's the new one. That's the much larger format than we did here with the angelic.
That's correct. So this one has a genuine 528 hertz. As the largest chime is the genuine 528 hertz. This one is the next octave up, so this one contains 1056 hertz. So that's why it's a higher octave. But this one has 7 tones, and it's a traditional chakra tuning based with C as the root note. We've always used C as the root note with the colour red. But what I've done is match the colours with the tones, and whilst that has been fine pointing us in a direction, what I've done with these solfeggio healing tones is actually flip the whole spectrum and match the tones with the colours. So in actual fact, G is the root note, and it may, so whilst we traditionally used C as the root note, I used G. So basically that's it. So this is your traditional chakra with red as the base root.
So explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, because maybe mentally I am some days, what you mean by changing the color of the root note.
So the way we measure a colour spectrum and the way we measure sound, you can't measure the two, but they do point to the same thing. And so, for instance, as I said, the traditional chakra sign would have had C as red. I did my homework, and a lot of my stuff comes from dreaming. That's the only way I keep going. But my one was telling me the root note was red and it was G. So with my one, that would make the C note green, in fact yellow-green, which is the colour of photosynthesis and chlorophyll when plants grow. So as part of my experiment, I got onto the Singer sewing machine company and just looked up cotton number 528, and lo and behold, it's not red, it's yellow and green, which matched my dreams. So then I looked up Berger paints, and the same thing, their colour number 528 is in fact C. Also, I looked up British paints and they didn't match it at all. So, you know, it's just something I'm working out as I go, but it works for me.
So where do the colors appear on the chime itself? Or are you just talking about this encoding with like these things?
This is my healing chime set. This is in fact Oot 396.
It's
but
in fact
it is
what?
the root. This is Oot, which is the root.
Okay.
And this is 396 hertz.
Okay.
And that's on mine, but on the traditional old one, we would have the root as a C, so that's a C note. Red,
by root you mean the deepest tone.
The main tone that everything's based off.
The deepest tone, and everything scales from that tone.
Everything scales from
so
one root note.
Like in a song, if
yes.
it's a C scale or
yes,
yeah, gotcha.
Which is why this is in fact a perfect C scale. Whereas this one is not a musical scale. This one has sharps and flats.
Yeah.
Because it's a solfeggio healing scale.
It's also much deeper in tone than the angelic
yes.
set.
So this contains the same tones that I sell on this as the sound shower. But not everyone wants to be so active with their own looking after themselves.
Well, show us what someone might do if they had just like that 528 that a lot of people are calling the miracle solfeggio tone.
In the sound shower, this 528 hertz would be in the
Alright,
center.
so he's pointing to this thing. He's got a little...
This is where I've
range
matched the
here.
colours and the scales. So that's what I'm saying. Originally,
Oh, I see. That's what you mean. You're making the...
so that's the old C. This is the new C.
So previously people would have called C the 396 hertz?
Well, they wouldn't have been
calling
that
it-
technical. They would have just called it red.
Okay.
Yes, so red would be the bass.
But it's still red.
It is still red. Red
It's just a
is.
different
It's just that when you
tone?
match the tones, again you get different. So frequency, all we have is frequency. So our ears make it sound, our eyes make it colour, but it's the same frequency. You're just measuring waves.
Yeah. So
So if I had this at home, I would. Luckily, this is the miracle tone, so it actually is my go-to.
yeah.
It is the centre of the set because it really does work. So you can just get by with that, but you could get
Go
up.
ahead.
in-
Well, I want you
get
to
up
ring
in
it.
the day.
I want people to be able to hear what these solfeggio
Well, I would get up in
tones
the
do.
morning, and so long before I put the radio on, I would just start absorbing sounds. So that tone's acting on every cell in your body, so I like to start the day slowly. And a good one is you just dong it and listen to where the sound goes.
I don't know if everyone can hear the same quality that we're hearing online, but it's an amazing. What I'd like to compare that to is we have the larger 528 as well.
Yes?
And what I'm going to have you do, because I can't hold
You
this
have
at the
it.
same time.
I can go and grab it.
Yeah, okay. So we're just going to do this real quick right here. I want you to be able to compare the different sounds, because the whole solfeggio sequence and sound healing in general is such an important aspect of the different types of healing that are available. And I'm just impressed. We've really enjoyed these sounds. We keep this smaller angelic one at home. Okay, so there we go. So there's the larger sound.
That's the large
the 528.
528, and it sounds like this.
And everyone hearing this should be actually doing healing on you just as you're listening to it. So if you just want to close your eyes for a minute and just allow the energies to flow through you.
And another good thing with sound healing is that it just works whether you believe it or not.
Yeah, that's true. Now show them the same 528,
So
the same.
This is the large, small. Same powerful tone. I'll do that one, and you stay there. I'll just go here.
Oh,
and
good.
see
So
what that
Suze
does.
is saying she can hear it and it's beautiful. Thank you, Suze.
Good.
You done?
Good.
Oh, you want me to go closer to this one so to hear it? Yeah. So I'm just wanting to show you this. There's the 528. The larger one just reverberates for just a ginormous amount of time. As that official
Well, that's the
measuring
large
is
one.
ginormous.
That's the small one. I do have a medium-sized one, and that one will resonate for well over 2 minutes with one medium tap.
Yeah.
And whether you can hear that, that's great. But it actually goes all through your bones
Yeah.
if you're holding it, and it's
Yeah.
still operating on everything in the area anyway.
Cool.
But that's a good way to start your day, the 528 way.
So what I should have you set up is just the full sound shower
Yes.
with the
Easy.
smaller chimes.
Mhm.
Leave that one there. Okay, we're gonna take. I really do love this one. This one is just so pretty. The advantage of the wind chimes is that you don't have to do anything. It just makes its own music. All right, so while we're setting up, I'm just going to let you listen to this. It is just beautiful.
Yeah, apparently it is having trouble with it this morning.
Almost there. And Gary, how long have you been making these solfeggio chimes? There you go. That's what happens when you set it down on the ground.
Well, in 2016 I started making solfeggio didgeridoos because I was enjoying didgeridoos and I had the 528 hertz, so I just mucked around with solfeggio didgeridoos, which was a lot of fun, and then I just had some pipe around. In fact, the Hills Hoist packed it in next door and I made a chime.
So let's just look. That's the 396.
So that's the 396, which will be your root.
So explain to us how you showed us how you hold it and wake up to the using the 528 usually. How would someone who wanted to do some healing on themselves or use it as a healing tool, how would you suggest they do that?
Again, if you've only got one, the 528 really does work on anything. With your own intention, you can fix any part of your body. If you had the set, for instance, this is the root, so this one's good for lower hips and stuff, and you really can feel it. So what's it doing? Well, it's providing a pure tone of vibration, which gives your cells, which know everything, they can, and during our day we all get up and down with our vibrations, but our cells know what they like, and this reminds them of a tone that they would be relaxed at. And just by donging that, if you take a deep breath, you can almost feel it. So I get actually 12 months ago I was using this a lot. I had a lot of lower back troubles. I was still caring for my mother at that time. But I was just thinking yesterday that I haven't had those troubles since then.
Nice.
So sacral, solar plexus, give everyone a heart charge. You can breathe that one in. So we're all going to work out soon how important our imagination is. So just get in first and use it. Use your imagination you say heal your heart. We're not that broken, but we know what you mean.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming today, Gary.
Thank you. Thanks for.
It's great to see. It's always fun to play with the sound healing.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.